How's it going, you outlaw legends? I'm Red Nitrate, and welcome into my guide showing you how to raise all of your stats in GTA Online as fast as possible. There's lots of different ways to raise your stats in this game, but after many long years spent playing it, I believe I've figured out the most efficient ways of maxing them out. If you do find the video useful, please show it some love and hit the thumbs up button down below. The first skill we're having a look at is stamina, and honestly this is the first and main stat that I tend to max out in the game. Personally, I can't stand the combination of losing health and not being able to sprint for extended periods of time. The easiest way to upgrade your stamina is by riding around on a bicycle. Now in this case I'm using a BMX bike, and I would highly recommend that you do the same. Not only does it spice up an otherwise very boring process by giving you the ability to do bunny hops and tricks and whatever else, but on top of that I also hear that performing stunts on the BMX will slightly increase your strength as well. I wasn't able to confirm that 100%, if it does it's by a small amount, but hey, it's worth considering. To get your hands on a bicycle, just make your way to the internet, then travel and transport, and head down towards the bottom of the page and go to pedal and metal. From there, just select whatever bike you want and what garage you want it delivered to, then just go and retrieve it when you're ready to get started. Whatever bike you pick and whatever route you choose to take, whether it be stunting your way to victory or just picking a distant point on the map and gunning it all the way until the end, when you finally hit it, you'll see that you've gotten 100 out of 100 down in the bottom left hand corner. It does take quite a while, but it's very much worth it in my opinion. And for anyone out there who likes their AFK methods, you'll be happy to know that there is one available for stamina. Simply come out into the middle of the ocean, tie a rubber band around the left thumbstick on your controller, and get something to weigh down the run button. If done correctly, your character should be swimming around of their own accord, and you can go away, make yourself a cup of coffee, and leave them to do their thing. The next stat we're going to be checking out is strength. This is another skill that can take quite a while to upgrade, but it's quite worth it as it increases your melee attack power and reduces fall damage by a decent margin. The easiest way of raising your strength is by attacking and beating up NPCs with your fists. Normally this would be quite difficult due to the police constantly trying to spoil your fun, however there's a neat way of getting around that. If you start a contact mission by going into the start menu, then online, jobs, play job, Rockstar created, and then you want to select the missions category. There's a few that you can select from here that will get the job done, but the best in my experience is peer pressure. This not only has the cops disabled like I was saying before, but because it's down at the beach you will have a steady stream of willing victims to fill your strength gauge with. You'll find bigger collections of people in some areas more than others, but basically you shouldn't have any trouble at all coming across victims to torment for the entire time that you're here. Just keep mowing your way through and beating up NPCs until your strength stat raises appropriately. Sure, it can take a while, but then it's an awful lot of fun at the same time. Next on the agenda is stealth, and fortunately for you, if you've been following this guide, you are already in the perfect place to max out your stealth as well. While doing the same peer pressure mission, the main thing that you're going to need to do is activate stealth mode by clicking the left thumbstick or whatever mapped button you have. Then just start walking around to raise it up. If you want to make things a little more interesting and a little quicker as well, you can also try and take out a few NPCs with some stealth kills. Just go up behind someone, target them, and attack them when you get nice and close. There's some truly brutal animations that go along with whatever melee weapon that you're using, and it adds a little something extra to just aimlessly walking around really slowly. Fortunately, there's also an AFK method for stealth as well. The best place to do it is over at the airport here, or just somewhere with very few obstacles for you to bump into. Then just the same deal as with stamina and swimming, just tie a rubber band around the left analog stick and weigh down the run button and away you go. Leave it until you're happy with the results and you're all set. Now I'll be showing you how to raise your shooting stat. To be honest with you, this is a skill I usually raise while doing the peer pressure mission as well, and I use the lawless landscape to nail off a bunch of gnarly headshots, which gets it up pretty quick. But to be fair, there is a faster method. and all you need to do is come over to your nearest ammunition that has a shooting range attached. This is the icon that you're looking for. There's a few around the map, but this one's pretty central, so it's the one that I usually use. Once you're here though, just make your way inside and over towards the back of the building, where as you head around to the right and in this door, here you'll find a marker on the ground that when prompted will get the gun range activated. Once inside, you can select from a variety of different shooting challenges, and all of them will aid in your goal of maxing out your shooting stat, but if you're lazy like I am, the easiest way of doing it is by coming down to the heavy category, selecting the minigun, and then picking a challenge from there. Personally, I find the random targets to be the easiest with the minigun, so that's what I went with. Once the challenge starts, all you really have to do is spray a bunch of bullets and hit your targets down. From what I've read, when doing it this way, it's based on how many bullets you shoot, which is why the minigun is quite a good choice. That being said though, passing a variety of challenges can bump up the stat nicely as well, so there's really not a wrong way to do it. Next up, we've got the flying skill, and honestly this is one of the easiest ones to raise because all you really need to do is a selection of the lessons provided at the flight school. If you don't know where it is, I'll pull it up on the map so you can all have a look. Super easy to find though, it's right next to LSIA. Then once you're here, just make your way up to the marker to get things started. There are a whole bunch of missions that are available here. They're considerably harder than the story mode equivalents, but they shouldn't give you too much trouble. Some you'll pass in one go, others you might need to redo a couple of times, but overall they're really not too difficult. At the end you'll be rewarded with some RP, and a decent little bit of money if you manage to snag a medal, especially if that happens to be a gold medal. Getting towards the end now, I'll be showing you how to raise your driving stat. This one you likely would have maxed out in the process of just playing the game and driving around the map, but sometimes it can be a little slow and need a nudge in the right direction. In my opinion, the easiest way of doing that is by selecting a race that has very few challenges or obstacles. Arms Race is absolutely perfect, as it's over at Fort Zancudo and takes advantage of the big open runways. You can access the race in the same job menu that I showed you for the peer pressure mission when I was raising strength and stealth earlier in the video. But basically you don't even need to do the race itself. All that's necessary is just driving around and not hitting anything. Both driving fast and driving for extended periods without colliding with obstacles will raise your driving stat pretty quickly. There are other ways of going about it, but this is definitely the easiest and laziest method as there's almost nothing that can get in your way. Another option is you can grab yourself a bike and then head to a populated area and go onto the wrong side of the road. From there, all you need to do is mainline it down the highway and avoid all of the cars coming your way. The near misses really add to your driving skill, and it adds a little extra something for people wanting a bit of a challenge. Finally, we're looking at lung capacity, and there's a few ways in which you can go about this, but by far the easiest method is by using a scuba suit, which can be purchased from the outfit section at any clothing store. However, it will set you back 150k, so there's that. If you can't afford the scuba suit, don't worry, stick around and I'll show you how to do it free of charge. Once you've got your scuba suit equipped, just head out to any deep part of the ocean, make your way nice and far underwater, and just swim around, or even just sit suspended, and it should still max out. Pretty simple, right? It's quite boring, but it's made a lot easier by not having to worry about shortness of breath. This also doubles as an AFK method. Once you're deep enough underwater, simply do the same as I mentioned for the other AFK methods, and tie a rubber band around your left thumbstick and weigh your run button down, and your controller will do all of the hard work for you. And because you're moving around constantly, the game won't lag you out, so it's super easy. The cheapest way of raising your lung capacity is simply by swimming below the surface of the water, preferably out in the middle of the ocean again where there's nothing to get in your way. All you need to do from there is just go under the surface of the water and start swimming, and then as your air starts to run low and begins flashing in the bottom left hand corner, just go to the surface, catch your breath, and then repeat the process over and over again. But yeah, that'll be a wrap for my GTA Online stat guide, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully you all found it useful. If you did, please tap the like button down below. And if you are new around here, definitely think about subscribing as well. Until we meet again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Red Nitrate, and I'll catch you all on the next one.